Hello and welcome to another video here at Hobbies and Happiness. My name is Dan.
I'm Jim, and today we're doing a card analysis of Disney Lorcana.
All right, so we are diving as deep as we can into the cards spoiled for Disney Lorcana so far.
Yeah.
If you haven't yet, go check out our Everything We Know So Far video about Disney Lorcana. We'll post that right here. Additionally, we are going to be recording an episode of the podcast where we talk more in depth about this new trading card game from Disney in Ravensburger. So with that being said, hopefully you've checked out our other video where we've talked kind of everything we know. We're just gonna jump right into the cards, okay? So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna go through each cards. We're gonna go through every card and then talk about what we've noticed so far from the cards. And then we're gonna go as in depth as we think we can from each of these cards spelled as well, okay? So far, we have 7 character cards that we have seen, okay? So we have Stitch, Rockstar. We have Elsa, Snow Queen. We have Cruella DeVille, Miserable as Usual. We have Maleficent, Monstrous Dragon. We have Robin Hood, Unrivaled Archer. Captain Hook, Forceful Duelist. And we have Mickey Mouse, Brave Little Tailor. So right away, the first thing that I notice is the sub names. Okay, again, reminiscent of Magic, right? And I think they're already off to the right start because they know we can't just make a Mickey card. We can't just make a mini card, right? We have to have different ones, and that's how you do it. Like that's really how you do it. So I think off to that. So far, I mean, I know Jim likes Elsa.
Yeah.
Jim's a fan of Elsa.
Eventually, we'll have Mickey Mouse Steamboat Captain, essentially.
Yeah, absolutely, and you know it.
Yeah.
You know you will. So there's so much IP and so much history to go off of, and that's one of the reasons I'm really excited for this game. Okay, so before we talk about the cards specifically, a couple other things that we notice. Okay, if you look at the top left, Jim, what is that? Top left.
That's the cost.
That's got to be cost. There's nothing else that it could be.
Yeah.
And I think universally that's what everybody has noticed. They're saying that is cost. We talked about the card name, the sub name, and then you've got, it's got to be color. So behind each name and the sub name, the heading, there's a color, and there's also a little icon below that, which kind of which goes along with the color. So if you look at Mickey Mouse and you look at Maleficent, they both are red cards, and that symbol below their names is similar. It's the same. It's the same one. So knowing that, I'm noticing you've got 5 different colors. I think you have blue. You have purple, you have yellow, you have green, and then you have red, and then I think it's colorless.
I think so.
I think with Captain Hook, I believe that's colorless.
Yeah.
So who knows? I mean, in just about every card game, you have the different traits and different colors doing their different things.
Yeah.
So that's pretty universal in all of card games. And again, another thing that we're seeing here. So Jim, what's something that you see? Next thing that you see?
Ooh, I mean, we got the power and toughness, right?
Yeah, and who knows what that's going to be called?
Yeah, we don't know the name, but we're pretty sure
it's if it's not called Power Toughness, it's going to be the same
challenge
effect.
rating defense.
Probably defense.
Probably
I would assume. Armor's a good one.
Yeah.
But again, a lot of this, we're thinking about this in Magic terms, right? And so they've stated that this is not going to be as competitive as Magic. They want it to be more family friendly. They want it to be more fun for everybody. So I think they're going to tone down the. I don't want to say strategy level because I don't think that's the right thing to say.
Yeah.
It's just the competition level.
They probably don't want to have like a pro tour set up.
Yes, correct.
They probably don't want to have something like
that. But they don't need it.
Yeah.
I don't think they would need it because again, you just say Disney trading card game, and that's going to be enough to sell product. When you talk about pro tours, like it was, what is the pro tour? It's a promotional tour. Yeah. They're doing it to sell product, right? To get people into the new set. With Disney, you don't really have to do that. Yeah. You don't, or you have to do it less. I think you have to do it less. So again, that's like we're thinking about it in Magic or Pokemon terms and just trying to translate all of those terms over to kind of Disney speak. Because one thing that we've said with Villainous, like they don't use, when they announce Star Wars, they're like, we don't use the kill word. It's Disney. They don't use the K word.
Eliminate or banish is what they call it.
And here, yeah, they were saying banish, right?
Yeah. So it's exiled.
Yeah, right, exactly.
It's exiled.
So one of the other things that I'm seeing here is card types. So if you look at Robin Hood, you have Storyborn Hero. Elsa, you have Dreamborn Hero, Queen, Sorcerer. So you have Dreamborn and Storyborn, and then you have Stitch, Floodborn.
Yep.
Captain Hook is Dreamborn.
He's also a colorless Dreamborn, where Elsa is purple Dreamborn.
Correct. Cruella is green, Storyborn.
Okay.
Maleficent is red, Storyborn. So I am interested to see if, my assumption is it's just going to be another card type.
Yeah.
Right? It's card types matter, and that's like gonna be it. I don't think there's gonna be a game function other than that. Which again, most card games, that's kind of how it works. It's just you look at the card type or the trait or whatever or whatever. But from a lore standpoint, I'm sure they're gonna talk about like what's the difference between Dreamborn and Storyborn. Storyborn makes sense jumping off the pages. Stitch being a Floodborn makes sense because of the movie Lilo and Stitch. He's in Hawaii, right, with the water, and then also kind of his alternate cost essentially is kind of how he's coming into play, like a flavor. I can see that. So that's another thing.
Keywords are some of my favorite.
Yes.
Or the card abilities is what I should say.
Yeah, so card abilities, and then also you mentioned it, keywords too.
Yeah. Kind of the same thing.
There's two keywords that we see here. You got Captain Hook, Challenger +2. When challenging, this character gets +2. I'm assuming it's attack, okay, or whatever the game term is going to be. So again, my Magic brain is just looking at the names and the rules and going, okay, like I'm seeing the framework.
Yep.
I'm really seeing the framework for a good competitive strategy game to really dive into.
You think we're gonna get white border cards or
no?
Okay.
I don't think so. Disney wouldn't do that though. Like I don't think they would.
No.
I think they're very protective of their
Can I
image.
get a white border Elsa?
A white border Elsa.
I'm
Maybe
just
the
gonna-
whole card is white.
Yeah. Ghost rare at that
Like
point.
I think, but seriously though, like with how protective Disney is of their images and their characters, they're going to be very particular on how these cards look.
Yeah.
I really think so. So the other keyword we see is on Stitch. He has Shift 4. So you see that card has a cost of 6. Again, we're assuming cost. But with Shift 4, you may pay 4, whatever, to play this on top of one of your Stitch characters. If you look at next to the 4, it looks like it says 4 asterisk.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that's like a placeholder for the actual resource cost.
Maybe.
I don't know. Again, we know very little so far. All right. But the thing that you said is the card abilities. Yeah. I'm a fan. Like Elsa's is sick. Yeah. That's your favorite.
Freeze. You can exert her. It's exert, I assume.
Yeah, I would assume so.
You can exert her. We're going to tap her.
But here's the thing. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Exert chosen opposing character.
So one thing that how did they get away with that effect looking like that? With that icon?
Yeah.
How did they get away with that?
I don't know.
I guarantee you Wizards of the Coast is like they talk to their legal department and I'm like, yeah, no, they can't do that.
Maybe because it's a hexagon and not just the rectangle.
Well, right, yes. Like yes, the shape is different, but I mean anyone, if you play Magic, you look at that and you're like, oh, that's easy, it's tap.
Yeah, it's tap it.
We get it.
Exert.
So again, that's one of those visual things that I wonder if Wizards will make them change.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, flavor text. Flavor text is great.
Ooh. Which one are we reading first?
I like Robin Hood's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we never rob. We just sort of borrow a bit from those who can afford it.
Yep.
That's good.
Yep.
So all the flavor is going to be great.
Yep.
Okay. The thing that we don't know what it is. We think we know what it is. We think we do. The bottom right. Jim, what do you think the bottom right is?
pretty sure it's pitch, and then this is how much resource you get.
Yeah.
Send this card from your hand to the graveyard, to the discard, whatever it's called. You get 2 floating resource or whatever.
That's what I think. I think that's what it is too, because one thing we see the cost of top left. How are you going to pay for these things? I'm assuming they're not going to go the route of having specific resource cards. I don't know.
Yeah.
We know very, very, very little. So that's
one of the ideas.
Because that was what I thought. That was my
initial thought as well.
But you floated out a good idea too.
The other ideas were also, so when it comes to deck creation, say you can only have like 40 cards in the deck, but it has to be under a certain amount of pips, right?
Yeah.
So these little diamonds could be the pips, right? So at deck creation, some of the better cards are just higher pips.
Yeah.
Some of the worst ones are lower pips, but you're able to have, more of those up to a max copy of like 3 or something.
Yeah.
Who knows exactly?
Yeah.
One other thing is it's probably going to be unique based. So
It
like
has
the
to
legendary rule.
for Magic,
Yeah. So
for it's like any card game for the most part.
Yeah.
If you play Final Fantasy, if that's got that card name,
Yeah.
you can't play
I
it.
do hope they don't take the Final Fantasy route and they take the Magic route of you can cast or you can play another one. They force you to get rid of the old one. I kind of like that ruling more than just picking which one you can keep. Or Final Fantasy, they're like, you can't even cast the new card.
Yeah, you can't cast it.
If you have one out on board, you can't even cast it.
Yeah.
Which is rough because if you just want the enter the battlefield trigger, and even if it was like, okay, I understand I can't have both of them, get rid of one of them.
Yeah.
Okay, like I'll do that just for the ability because it's so good.
Yeah.
So I do hope that they take the more Magic route.
Assuming that's how it goes, which it has to be. Like from a lore standpoint and from an IP, they have to.
Yeah.
Like it makes the most sense.
And the other idea that I had was, let's say you have a board of like 5 spaces. Each one of these pips can represent how many spaces it takes up out on the board.
Yeah.
But I also think that would then make Elsa a bit more broken because it's like, oh, I'm only taking up 1 space where yours taking up 3. I'm going to make sure it's tapped every single turn.
Yeah.
And then I can just kind of get in there.
Yeah.
So like we look at Stitch, we look at Mickey. Mickey has 4 pips. Stitch has 3 pips.
Yeah.
Elsa has the 1.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's that route either. I do think it is the pitch cost.
I think that's what it is too. Another thing that I thought was rarity, but I don't think that that makes sense either. But again, who knows? Once we get more information, we will update for sure. Yeah. But that's the one thing out of all these cards that we're just not totally sure on. But I if I had to bet, pitch cost. So that's where I'd put my money. So, all right. So that being said, we're going to go through each of these cards and then kind of give you kind of our best analysis as to we can so far. So the first one, I'll touch on the first one. I mean, who else but talk about Mickey Mouse, right? So Mickey Mouse, the brave little Tailor. So I see this and I'm like, how many Mickeys is there going to be, right? How many Mickeys and how many different colors? There's going to be a lot. Yeah. So again, 8 cost. Brave little Tailor, he's a 5/5 with evasive. Now, evasive, only characters with evasive can challenge this character. So when I see that, now I'm thinking, okay, I'm wondering so with Magic, you attack players directly.
Yep.
Okay. Now with this, seeing evasive, that seems to me, if it's challenged, that's probably offensive. That's an offensive thing, right? Not defensive. So if you're saying I have to have evasive to challenge another evasive character, that has to mean that combat is
creature to
creature. Yeah. So if that's the case, how do you win? I'm wondering if it's like Final Fantasy. Could be Final Fantasy, something along those lines. I was gonna say,
like the Pokemon thing, to where it's like, all right, well, I killed one of your units, put it into the
damage zone,
or whatever it is, or when something's killed, take a card from the top of the deck, put it into the damage zone.
Like Pokemon. Yeah, where you've got your prize cards and something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, yep. So yeah. Combat seems to be creature to creature. I mean, I'm reading the flavors on all these, man. Yeah. Also, it's got to be 4. Got to be that pitch cost. It's got to be 4.
Yeah.
So that's got to be that pitch cost. When defeat looms in victory, Hangs by a thread, a hero bolts to the rescue, patching things up through sheer determination. The art, I feel like I'm going to mention the art. The artist here.
He's a tailor. He patches.
This art was done by Nicholas Cole. They've got original artists to do all of these artworks. Yep. So that one's great. Whichever one you want to talk about.
Oh, you know what? I'll just pick a random one. I'm just going to scroll through. Let's talk about this random Elsa character.
You got it. Love the artwork. I love the artwork.
Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah. I can't wait to see this in foil. I hope the foils don't bend.
Dude, again, if I'm telling you, if it's Disney, they are going to demand. Yeah. All right, go ahead and read
so
Elsa.
We got Elsa, the Snow Queen. She's a 3-drop, 2/3 in purple. She's a Dreamborn Hero Queen Sorcerer. She has the ability Freeze. You can tap her to exert chosen opponent. Tap target creature. Tap target opponent creature.
So if you've seen any of our videos before, if you have seen any of our videos before, you know Jim doesn't like to read cards as they're written. He interprets it in his mind beforehand and then just says that. And so he doesn't read it.
Okay, exert chosen opponent.
There you go. You got
Exert
it.
chosen opposing character.
There you go. You got it.
Tap this.
But again, coming from somebody who's played so many card games in their life, we're interpreting things as we know it.
Tap this, tap your opponent's thing.
Correct. At least that's what we're assuming. Exert, and that's the ability Freeze. You got to read the.
Right.
You got to read
the flavor text.
The flavor
best
text,
part.
exactly.
Recreated by magical ink, Elsa found herself in an unfamiliar new world. Fortunately, ice works the same way everywhere. Freeze.
Also done by artwork done by Nicholas Cole. All right, I'm gonna read this next.
I can't wait to let it go on people.
And he's gonna sing it too. You're gonna sing it.
100%.
Dude, if there's not a card that says "Let It Go," what are they doing?
Banish creatures, let it go.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's funny. All right, I'm going to talk about Robin Hood. Robin Hood, Unrivaled Archer, 6 cost, 4/4, Storyborn Hero. He has the ability, Feed the Poor. When you play this character, if an opponent has more cards in their hand than you, draw a card.
Yep.
One thing I see there when you play, I'm assuming because we also have other verbiage. Everything I see, it says play.
Okay.
Because everything it's play, not enters the field, but specifically it just says play. So far, so that's what we're saying.
There might even be like, if there's ever a reanimation thing, it could either say play this card from your discard pile. Yeah. So then it would still activate.
Yeah. And then also has the ability, Good Shot. During your turn, this character has evasive. They can challenge characters with evasive. We never rob. We just sort of borrow a bit from those who can afford it.
Yeah.
Artist of John Lauren, I believe. That's kind of one of my favorite arts of all these spoiled so far.
Also, Nicholas Cole did the Elsa artwork.
I mentioned that. Yeah.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, which one do you want to talk about next?
Ooh, I think I want to talk about Maleficent.
Yes, good one.
She is a 9-cost Maleficent Monstrous Dragon, 7/5 from Red. Storyborn Villain Dragon with the Dragon Fire ability. When you play this character, you may banish chosen opposing character.
When you play it, exile. I'm assuming banish is basically just put to discard.
Yeah,
essentially that would be my assumption. Flavor. Read the flavor.
Oh yeah, the 9th rule of villainy. When all else fails, turn into a dragon.
Yeah, so this is Maleficent's dragon form. The art is beautiful. Yeah.
The colors blended
Luis Huerta,
so well.
I believe. Yes, it's so good.
Luis.
I'm wondering. No, it's a Maleficent card, so I'm assuming if you had another Maleficent, like sorceress on board, you probably wouldn't be able to do this.
I kind of wish this had like shift.
Oh
That
yeah.
would have been sick.
There's gotta be other
has
stuff.
to
There's
be
gotta
one
be other
eventually.
stuff. There's gotta be.
Yeah.
But yeah, Maleficent I'm a fan. Again, the
9 cost
artwork
is so much, dude.
That's what I know.
9 cost is so much.
Yeah. All right, I will talk about Cruella de Vil.
I knew you were gonna take
Miserable
her from me.
as usual.
Love it.
2 cost, 1/3 storyborn villain. You'll be sorry. When this character is challenged and banished, you may return chosen character to their player's hand. So what it looks like is if it gets challenged and then goes to discard, bounce a character.
Yep.
And it's chosen, so it's not
Really
opponent's
strong.
control. So it could be used offensively or defensively.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a solid card.
Yep.
When she stops by, misery is company. So yeah, for 2,
Beautiful.
not bad. I mean, a good card to have on your board.
She
for
blends
what it
in with
seems
that.
like.
She blends in with that green frame so nicely.
Yeah. Also, artwork done by Nicholas Cole as well.
Yep.
Very, very nice.
We got the man himself last, huh?
We got 2 more.
Oh, do
We
we?
got 2 more. Yep. We got 2 more. 2 more to talk about.
There was what? Oh, yeah, we do. Okay. All right.
All right, which one do you want?
You know what? I want to talk about Stitch because we kind of talked about the shift. So let's go for it.
Yep.
All right. So Stitch Rockstar is a 6-drop, 3/5 from Yellow. He's a Floodborn hero alien with an alternative cost of Shift 4. You may pay 4 mana
Yeah.
to play this card on top of one of your Stitch characters. So you just evolve him.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Yeah.
Yeah. And hopefully there's a 2-cost Stitch because this card would be great. Or even a 1-cost Stitch. It would be even better. Because rather than just paying the 6 mana, you're like, oh, I got a 1-cost? All right, well, wait till I get 4 mana. We're going to go ahead and turn this into that now. And then we save mana from casting his normal 6. But then we also have the Adoring Fans. Whenever you play a character, I'm gonna keep saying creature, damn.
Yep, a character.
Whenever you play a character with cost 2 or less, you may tap it to draw a card. You may exert it to
draw a
That's
card.
what I said. You may exert it to draw a card.
So one thing that I was curious, and now it says when you play a character with cost 2 or less, you may exert it to draw a card.
Yeah.
So not exert Stitch, but exert that other card.
Yeah.
So much better, because that means you can do it more than once,
Yeah.
right? In a turn,
Yeah.
assuming that that's how it works. Yeah. So I like Stitch. The versatility is very good. Again, this is all knowing literally nothing about the game, right?
Yeah. This is all speculation.
All speculative. Okay, and then the last one. Oh, wait a minute. You did not read the flavor text.
Lag. Okay.
LOL lag.
All right. The best part about about a beachside concert is that there's always room for one more.
Art by
Wrong.
Simon Galiso Sabaya. If I got that right, I'm sorry. Or wrong, I'm sorry.
I got that right. I'm sorry.
All right, last one. We have Captain Hook, Forceful Duelist. He's a Dreamborn villain pirate captain. 1 cost, 1/2. With the ability or keyword Challenger +2. When challenging, this character gets +2 attack or whatever that is.
When challenging, this character.
Correct.
It's not when challenging this character, get +2 attack.
Yes, correct. Commas matter.
It's a huge difference right there. Am I getting it or are you getting it?
Yeah, commas matter, guys. He loves to make light of a foe's predicament.
He's so
Art
cool.
by Marcel Berg. I love this artwork.
Goodness.
I think this is a good card. I mean, it's, from what we're seeing,
Yeah.
it looks pretty good.
It's great.
Knowing, again, literally nothing about the game. And again, I'm assuming this is colorless.
A 1 mana 3/2?
Yeah, exactly, right? It's broken, guys.
This is a broken
But it's
card.
like, we see that, and then you look at Maleficent of that 9 cost.
Yeah, I'm like,
It's like Captain Hook for 1 for a 3/2 body,
Yeah.
and then Maleficent for a 9 cost 7/5. I mean, yeah, that's a big body, but
yeah.
that's a big for 8 more. 8 more. That's a lot. So
ETB kill something?
yeah,
He banish?
knowing very little, but that's kind of what we got. So, Jim, you got any final thoughts about these cards?
So, out of all these cards, how would you rank them?
What do you meaning? Like how so?
Yeah, like who are we ranking the number one card of?
Number one of all of these?
Yeah.
It's either Elsa or Stitch. Number one.
Honestly, I think so. Like the Stitch is so good, dude.
Yeah, I think Stitch is so good.
Yeah,
That
with
versatility,
the
versatility.
Draw the cards. Oh my goodness.
That's a lot of draw.
Dude.
That can be a lot of draw. And the cards that we're seeing, if you have a Captain Hook or a Cruella, because those are cost 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Because it's 2 or less, you can trigger Stitch to then play it, tap that card or exert it, and then draw the card.
Now, I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but it kind of makes me think that they are going to go with a unique theme with the shift, because you put it on top of your other Stitch.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think it would be unique.
Yeah, I would agree. So I think Elsa and or Stitch at 1 and 2. I mean, what would you say is the next one behind that?
I think Captain Hook is like super strong too, though.
Captain Hook. I would say Captain Hook and Cruella de Vil, because of the cost and the effect that you get with them. I think both of those are really closely statted. I just that cost for Maleficent
is raw,
and Mickey. But again, Mickey being able to always challenge or now
being
again
able to challenge anything.
Him be able to challenge anything
and can't be challenged.
Yeah, is what it looks like. So I'll be intrigued to see if, I mean, is there blockers? Like if I'm challenging somebody, can somebody step in and block, or kind of how that's gonna work?
Yeah,
as
I
well.
think blockers gets around.
That would get around evasive. I would think.
Yeah, I would assume so, because challenge, I feel like I'm attacking your specific creature.
Right.
And then what if there's also all right, well, now that you have no creatures, I can now attack you like in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like it is, or attack you directly like it is in Yu-Gi-Oh! And then, you get rid of their life points, even though it's not life. It could even be life points.
Probably not. I doubt it with it being Disney. I think they would go more along something that's a little bit more themed.
Yeah.
I would think. Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know.
We don't know.
So many questions that we have right now.
Yeah. Is it a possibility? Sure. We just don't know.
Also, I think Feed the Poor is also a good one too. I would say that would be next, and then Brave Little Tailor, and then Maleficent is kind of how I think I'd rank them.
And if it is the thing where like you play like a land, and who knows, there might be land, or this is exactly what the cards are of you pitch these cards from your hands for that number, and it's probably going to be have 7 cards in hand. At that point, it would be like really fast gameplay.
Yeah.
And
I doubt that's what they want too. I don't think that's what they'd want either.
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
It's so hard to say. Because again, like you now have to be paying attention to the cards in your deck that have a high pitch cost. And if you don't have those high pitch cards, how are you going to play a Maleficent?
What are we talking about right now? I mean, what game?
We're all over them.
But what game? No. But what I'm saying is, this type of discussion, we kind of had this discussion about what game? Flesh and Blood.
Yeah.
Right. We're talking about how the utility of all of these cards with the pitch cost. Is so. I mean, that's another great TCG and how that game was designed, right? So
I don't think they're going to really take that route of how it is for Flesh and Blood, because their setup's crazy.
It is insane.
You got blue cards, yellow cards, and red cards. One gives you less damage while it gives you more resources for pitch. The other one gives you less resources and more damage. Or you can make a balanced one.
Yeah, I'm more saying like the cards themselves having those pitch values on there and be like, all right, this card is used for however many resources, right? So there's so much to pull from, and I think there's so many things going right for this game already, and we know very little about the game. So many things going for it, and I'm excited.
And who knows, maybe there's like row cards, even though they haven't really shown anything
Yeah.
in terms of, or maybe that's the like story borns, or the born cards are the creatures, and maybe there's some kind of land thing.
Yeah.
To where it's like, all right, I'm paying for this land to come out, and it says like it can produce 2
Or a
whatever
book
it
or
is.
whatever.
Or
like,
yeah, or a book.
Like, oh goodness,
Some
what's
sort of energy source.
No, there's that expandable card game. It's literally Ashes Reborn.
Oh.
You know, where you had those books and those
Yeah,
pages.
the
summons.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's so much. Yeah. But there's so many things going right for this game already, and we know very, very, very little.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. What do you think? Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Yeah. Jim's gonna build his Elsa control deck.
Elsa Control. Hook me up.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first. Elsa Control.
Elsa Control Tier 1.
Elsa
Be ready.
Control versus I don't know.
Maleficent ramp.
There we go. There we go. I like it. It's like a colorless ramp deck I'm playing in MTG Arena. Ugin. Yeah.
There you go.
There we go. The dragon.
Tron. It just sounds like Tron.
It's Tron. Yeah. There we go. All right. So with that, we're gonna pitch it over to you. What do you guys think? Do you think we're right on our analysis, our quasi analysis? Right. Do you think we got this right? What do you think is in the bottom right corner? You think it's pitch cost?
What is it?
What do you think? Rarity? What do you think it is?
Size of field? Maybe.
I doubt it. I
Dude,
highly
if
doubt
that's
it.
the case, Elsa's broken.
Absolutely.
Elsa's so broken.
Yeah.
You only have one creature out on your board?
Okay,
Tap
but
it.
do you think they're gonna limit your battlefield? Or it's not. They're not gonna call it your battlefield,
I don't know.
your field. Do you think they're gonna limit that?
I don't know.
I don't think so. Like I don't think that's a route that they're gonna take. But regardless, what do you think that icon is in the bottom right corner? Also, one thing, what's rarity? Like I'm very curious. Trying to figure that one out because you know they have that.
Yeah.
They got it.
Phase 1. I see the 1 TF, the first chapter.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's going to be the set. It's English. And then what it's showing.
That's got to be the
out of
number, just the card
dash
number.
P1.
That's got to be the number,
Yeah.
I would think. So who knows? But what do you guys think? Are you going to build an Elsa control deck, or are you going to build an Elsa aggro deck? I don't know. What are you going to build?
Aggro. I mean,
Who would do that?
If it's a thing, I'm down.
Yeah. All right,
Doesn't make sense.
but we want to know your thoughts and opinions. Are you Villainous players, and now that you see this, you're like, sign me up, I'm in?
Are you Magic players? You might be down. Maybe like Disney. I don't know.
Let us know, because we're very interested to know. This is a game we're going to be keeping our eye on. And again, like I said, if you haven't yet, check out our other Everything We Know So Far video about Disney Lorcana, and then we will hopefully be talking about this in a separate episode of the podcast where we can dive in and really talk about everything Disney Lorcana, what we know so far, and then hopefully maybe talk with the co-designer of the game in another episode. Who knows? We'll see. But regardless, thanks everybody for being here. We'll catch you in the next video. See you, everybody.
Take care.